Welcome to Senior Stay or Go TV, a show to educate, entertain, and advocate on behalf of our aging adults. We are here to provide you the best information for your quality of life. Good day. My name is Ron Greenwald, and my business partner is Patty Gerke, and we are here to present Rethink Home in the COVID-19 era. It's a very serious time, and before we move into our slide presentations, Patty and I certainly want to wish everyone, and that means everyone, because everyone has been impacted by COVID-19, the coronavirus, the best of health, and even more importantly, the best of mental health as we move through this period of COVID-19. Certainly, the word caregiver has taken on a heightened meaning, and we want to, Patty and I wish to thank all those that have been caregivers and for many years are much unappreciated for the work that they have done. And we think, Patty and I think we both believe that the word caregiver takes on a very broad brush stroke, and not only those that care for our seniors and those with special needs, but also those out in the front lines now working at grocery stores and restaurants, and certainly the caregivers and the nurses, the doctors, and everyone helping to try to make life as normal as possible. So we thank you, and we hope that you will get a lot out of the presentation that we are about to present. So who we are and what do we do? Patty and I are real estate agents here in the county of San Diego. We specialize in working with seniors and their families when it comes time to think about the best housing options as we age. Should we age in place? Should we rethink home in terms of moving to a senior community? What are our best options? So that is why Patty and I created the Senior Stay or Go program. It is a free program of services and product that will help you decide the best course of action as you move forward in COVID-19 era and beyond. So the next slide is the field of life. The field of life is really all the people that we really need to bring into your world and communicate with. We're not going to go deep dive into each position on this field. It's obviously an analogy to a baseball diamond, but life has definitely thrown you a curveball. If you can see the pitcher's mound and the catcher, life has thrown us a curveball, and we are going to go into some of these positions as we move forward in this presentation. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us at any time. At the end of the slideshow will be our contact information. These are some of the notable organizations, and I'm going to relate these organizations to the field of life. The first one is the National Association of Senior Move Managers, NASMM.org. If you are considering trying to declutter your home and get rid of things during this time when you're shelter in place, or you're going to be moving in the future, the National Association of Senior Move Managers is a great organization. Aging Life Specialists, those are the people that shortstop on the field of life. They are the ones who are really going to be your advocates as you move forward in terms of your health care and health making decisions. They are really the ones who can be on the front lines with you when you go to the doctor's appointments or you are trying to navigate all the nuances of getting treatment and getting Medicare and moving forward. The third one, Professional Fiduciary Association of California, PFAC. If those that are considering having someone be a third-party advocate for their financial decision-making process, this is somebody to reach out to. Instead of relying on your family members who may be cross-country or maybe just cross-town, but really not there for you, the Professional Fiduciary Association is a licensed through the state of California to be a third-party advocate for your decision-making process in your estate and life plan. Third and fourth one, Consumer Advocates RCFE Reform, CAR. If you are considering and thinking about in the future a senior community here in San Diego County or throughout the state, CAR has a lot of great information on their website that will provide you with advocacy as to and a watchdog advocacy for these communities. Professional organizers. Again, as we are sheltering in place, we are probably thinking about all the things that we want to get rid of, and this might be a good place to start.
So regarding real estate in the COVID-19 era, how to stay safe in your own home, we have all spent more than enough time in our home over the last few weeks. And that should really be a good thing, because we never get a chance for the whole world to pause along with us to really take a look at what we can and can't do to stay safely in our own home while we shelter in place. Number one, do not be afraid to call for help. Do not get on the ladder to change a light bulb. Do not get in the bathtub the wrong way. Do not stand on the bathtub to open or close or clean a window. These are not things that need to be done now, even though you're noticing them now, without help. Also, be smart about shopping. Don't go to the grocery store for just one thing. Or if you have someone going to the grocery store for you, don't be afraid to ask about, if you go, can you please pick this up for me? Avoid accidents, as we just mentioned. Don't get on the ladder. Don't stand on the tub to clean a window or open or close a window. Don't do any of those things that you can get hurt. Getting on a ladder to change a battery in a smoke detector that might be beeping. Again, call for help. Do not be afraid to call for help. Don't stress. Again, take the opportunity to really pause while the whole world is pausing with you. Oftentimes we say, oh, if I just had 2 more hours in the day, or if I just had another day in the week. Well, now we have that time. We're not commuting. We're not doing a lot of things we usually would do, that we can now take the time at home to really reflect. Be cautious. Be cautious regarding who might come to your door or who might come and make a phone call to you. Please know that there are plenty of good charities out there who could use your help, but there are also charities that aren't the best. So please be sure to note the good charities. Know that Feeding America or Salvation Army or the San Diego Foundation, there's plenty of good charities out there that you could donate to. So be cautious when you're getting phone calls. You won't get a call from the IRS right now. You won't get a call from the government. So if you do, please ignore it. Hang up on them. Do not press number 1 for English or Spanish or anything. Just hang up the phone. Be proactive. Take advantage of this time to get organized. I don't know about you, but I've gone through every closet, every drawer, every room, and still there's plenty of stuff to live on in my home, but I was able to find a lot of things that could be donated to those who maybe could use them now, like blankets and sheets and things like that. Please be aware of scams, as we mentioned. Hang up on any robocalls. Don't press any numbers if they ask you to press a number. Don't give out any numbers if they ask for any numbers. Ignore any offers for home test kits or vaccines for the coronavirus. None of those should be something that you should get an offer through the mail, through somebody knocking on your door, or through a phone call. Always fact check your information. If you don't have a computer and you're not able to check it online, ask a neighbor who you know or a family member who you know has a computer who could check it online for you. And don't respond to emails or text messages about government checks. If you're going to get a government check, a $1,200 government check, it will automatically be deposited in your checkbook. It is not something you will get a call or an email or a text regarding. You need to check with your lender and make sure it's in your checking account. And again, they're not going to happen overnight, so you need to give it time. And do your homework before you donate to charities, which we mentioned earlier. There are plenty of great charities out there, so please, please take your time before donating.
As it relates to your home, we want to make sure that you have good information and that you're making rational decisions, and maybe not make a decision at this point in time. Let's wait maybe 30 to 60 to 90 days. Let's see how COVID-19 plays out. Let's see how our economy may recover before we make any irrational financing decisions. What you see on your slide is what a lot of people are going to be getting calls about, even more so than they have been over the last 3 or 4 or 5 years, is what we call a reverse mortgage. A reverse mortgage is some way to obtain money in exchange for the equity in your home. We just want you to be aware that it's out there, and it's a very expensive way to obtain money to make decisions about. It's a very expensive way to obtain money. You can see the green portion on this slide is just the financing cost, the upfront cost to obtain this type of loan program. So if you're going to make a decision at all, please make sure you have your team in place. As we talked about the field of life, your most trusted personal advisors, your family members, all surrounding you, who can really give you the good, the bad, and the different objective viewpoints as to a reverse mortgage. Is that the right way to go for you? So just please be cautious. Be proactive during this time. Again, all the attorneys are doing Zoom broadcasting right now. So if you have an estate plan that you have never done, or you did one maybe 15 to 20 years ago, please dust it off the shelf, get it out, take a look at it, contact your attorney, and let them do a Zoom conference with you. Update your estate plan. Has anything changed into your family dynamics over the last 3 to 5 years? The answer is most likely yes. We ask you to be proactive, and this is a great time to really dive deep into how you want your life and your estate plan to move forward. Have you done any refinancing of a mortgage in the last 3 to 5 years, or at any time? Are you sure that your assets are titled properly? Are your financial assets, are they just going to be distributed as you wish they'd be distributed? Beneficiary designations. Are they in your trust? Should they be in your trust? Personal property. This is a great time to get all the family on a Zoom conference and go through all the things in your house that maybe you want to start distributing while everybody's here and together and can see it, and start putting little sticky tabs on things that you may want to distribute after COVID-19 is over. Make sure you're aware of any 2020 tax law changes, if you can take advantage of them in any way moving forward. And again, I repeat, family dynamics. Has anything changed or is changing that would make you want to change your life and estate plan moving forward?
Being proactive, part 2, is having a family discussion. What if, or who is the right person for the job? Who wants to be your trustee? Not everybody wants that responsibility. That's why the professional fiduciaries are there, to be the independent third party, to keep peace amongst your beneficiaries. Who's going to make your financial decisions? Is it your oldest child? Is that the best person for the job? Or is an independent third party the best person for the job? Who's going to make your healthcare decisions? Again, is a family member the best person? Is a good friend the best person? Is an aunt, an uncle, a cousin, somebody in the family, not immediate family, the best person? Personal property distribution, that's something that, take advantage of doing it while you can, and watch others enjoy those items, rather than assign items to people and not even know exactly what it is they would want. Because trust me, the things you think somebody wants that are of value may not have monetary value, but have a lot of memories, and you would never even think that they would be something somebody would want. Contingency planning. What's going to happen? We all plan to die because we don't have a choice. We're all going to die at some point in time. But do we plan to be incapacitated? What's going to happen if we can't live alone anymore? What's going to happen if we can't drive anymore? One of the biggest things we did when we turned 16 was get the car keys. And one of the biggest things that happen when we grow older is to lose those car keys. So do you have a plan in place? And what are you going to do about housing? Are you going to be able to stay in your home? Are you going to be able to stay there safely and have a good quality of life? Or would you be much happier in a senior community with like-minded people and plenty of social activity? We are social beings, so that might be more advantageous. And who's going to take care of your pet if you can't do it anymore? Pets are very, very much a part of the family. So they need to be considered as well. So during this time when we get to pause, think about the things that you can do on your home that won't interfere with the interior portion of your home, but can be done on the exterior. There are a lot of contractors looking for work right now. So if there are exterior repairs that are needed due to a pest inspection and there's some wood repairs that need to be done. After all the rains we've had, is there any roofing repairs that need to be done? Can the home be painted on the outside, or does your fence need to be painted or repaired? Do you have gutters, and do they need to be cleaned because they didn't work really well during all the rains last week? Or don't you have gutters, and after the rains last week, you think they might be a good idea to install? And lastly, landscaping. If you have landscaping that needs a little facelift, now's a great time to get that done. Making your home accessible on the interior, these are things that you won't necessarily do now, but that you can think about for the future. One that you can do now that is very, very important is having a really large, well-visible house number. If the first responders need to find you, they're going to need to find you by your house number address. If it's not visible and they pass your house and go down your block and have to turn around and come back, those could be precious seconds and minutes that they could have been with you. So please, that is something that you can have done now if you haven't had it done. You can have your curb painted now if you haven't had that done, or somebody scratched it off with the wheel well of their car. So those are things that you can be doing now. But other things that you could think about is having level walkways. Do you need your walkway report? That's something that can be done now. Do you need the landscaping on your walkway removed so that it's not a tripping hazard? That's something that can be done now. Having lever handles on your front door are really important versus something you need to grab, especially if you have any amount of arthritis in your hands. On your first floor, make your bathroom that's there very accessible. Have floating cabinets so that at some point in the future, if you need to use a walker or a wheelchair, you could get your feet tucked under that cabinet and get closer to the sink. A taller toilet. If you have done any improvements at all in your bathroom and you haven't installed the taller toilet, even if it's only 3 to 3.5 inches, it is amazing. Amazing. You'll never want to go back. Having abundant lighting so that you don't trip and fall. Handles that are easy on your for your faucets again, not something you have to grab, but a lever again. And low maintenance finishes. We all have loved the natural stones that have been very popular over the last 15 to 20 years, but all those stones require maintenance. They require being sealed every so often, depending upon the use. Maybe a single surface that doesn't require all that maintenance is more appropriate. And having good ventilation so that you don't get a lot of fog in the bathroom and slippery surfaces in the bathroom, where it is the number one place for falls, especially with all the hard surfaces. Having a shower installed that has a zero step entry so that you could get in with a walker or a wheelchair. Having, again, abundant lighting, having those handled faucets, having those low maintenance finishes. And also, if you're not at a point in your life where you need a balance bar or what used to be called a grab bar, but you're redoing your shower, reinforce the walls now so those can be installed later when you need them and you're ready for it. You're thinking ahead. Using technology in your home. There are tons of things you can do in your home. There's smart thermostats, there's HEPA filters, there's light switches that turn on when you enter a room so that you don't have to let go of your walker if you're with a walker. You can have an Apple Watch and the Series 4 Apple Watch. If you fall and have an abrupt hit and you don't respond within a certain time frame, they will call 911 for you. You don't have to worry about pushing the button. And something I found out is once you turn 65, because when you register your Apple Watch, you give them your birthday, they automatically set that up for you. So it's not even something you have to remember to do. You can have Siri in your home to assist with turning lights on and off, or you can use your smartphone or your iPad to do that. And you can have a Ring doorbell, so if someone comes to the door and you weren't expecting anyone, you can easily find out who it is, respond to them without ever opening the door and being harmed in any way. Making the building work for you means motorized blinds. If any of you had your home built in the 70s or 80s, chances are you have a window over your bathtub. The only way to get to that window and to get to those blinds is to step in or on the tub. That's not something we should be doing at this point in our lives. We should be pressing a button and letting them work for themselves. Insulating your windows and doors, having door assist mechanisms if you need to. Having zero-scape landscape so that you have less maintenance, although I did that in my front yard. I'm not sure it's less maintenance. It's still maintenance, but someone else can always do that for you. Having smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors that are working properly. Very, very important, especially now that you're spending so much time in your home. Having a fire extinguisher that works, not something that's 50 years old, in your kitchen, just in case. Passive solar lighting if you have it, gray water irrigation if you can use it. All of these things are technologies that are available today for you to stay safely and have a good quality of life in your home. If a chairlift isn't going to work and you need an elevator, there are very simple solutions like this elevator that can be installed up against the wall. And when it's upstairs, you see only a panel on the ceiling. When it's downstairs, you see only the panel on the flooring. So these are all things that you can take advantage of to make your home safer and make your quality of life that much better.
Patty took us through the age and place. Now we're going to move a transitional to things to consider if you need to or you want to move. There are 33 categories here. There is right sizing. We call it right sizing versus downsizing. Right sizing is the home that is right for you in terms of your living conditions that gives you the best quality of life. Senior community, there are hundreds of different types of communities in San Diego County, all throughout the county, from boarding care to very large senior communities where you have daily activities from the moment you get up to the moment you go to sleep. And they come in all price ranges and all care levels. Home share, that is a situation probably we're not going to take advantage of while we're in the COVID-19 era. But afterwards, if that's something that we want to consider, whether you want to move in with somebody or you want somebody to move in with you, we would only recommend one place to go for that, and that is an organization called elderhelp.org. Elder Help is in San Diego. They will do the very deep dive background checks to make sure that anybody you move in with or moves in with you is qualified and safe. So it's either right sizing, senior community, or home share. We also want you to have financial awareness if you decide to sell your home. 3 different situations come up from a taxing perspective. One is capital gains. If you sell your home at a gain over the price you paid for it, you are subject to capital gains, even on your personal residence. However, there are limitations and exemptions for that. If you are married, it's a husband and wife, and you sell your home, you have an exemption of up to $500,000 on the gain of the sale of your property. That will eliminate $500,000 of gain, so tax-wise. So again, very simple example. You paid $200,000 for your home many years ago. You now sell it for $1 million. That would be, in theory, $800,000 a gain. And you're a married couple, you get to eliminate $500,000 of that $800,000. So you'll be subject to capital gains on $300,000. Going through numbers in this kind of situation is difficult, but also you can get to add on any work that you did to the home through all the years you lived in there. Any capital improvements you made to the home adds to that purchase price. So again, go back to the field of life, check with on second base or first base, I believe, is the CPA or your accountant. That is somebody you want to check to as to what would be you subject to in terms of capital gains if you were to sell your home now. Proposition 6090 has more to do with right sizing. That is a way that you can carry over or take with you your very low property tax basis that you have on your home now. Assuming you've owned your home for many years, and you have a low property tax basis, if you buy a home at equal or lesser value as to what you sell your current home for, and you're over the age of 55, you can take that low property tax basis with you over to the new property. Again, we advise you to seek counsel on it on the website, of the county's website, to make sure that you fall into the guidelines of Proposition 6090. Step up in basis really has to do is if you're going to sell your home, that husband and, again, we'll have a husband and wife, we lose a spouse and your home is properly titled in a trust, you get up a step up in basis to current fair market value of that home, and you can sell that home and eliminate and avoid any capital gains tax. Again, we advise you to check with your professional advisors to understand in detail the consequences of the impact of capital gains, Prop 6090, and step up in basis. So the real estate in the COVID-19 era, spring 2020 real estate market. The number one point on here is the unknown is the number one. Again, if you read 10 economists, you'll probably get a 50-50 split as to whether home prices are going to go up or down because of the decreasing amount of inventory on the market. What we do know is that we are seeing a lot of homes come off the market in this current COVID-19 period. People do not want people in their homes, so we're seeing decreased inventory. And the other side of it, we are seeing what we will obviously all know is going to be a massive amount of layoffs, a massive amount of uncertainty. So does the lack of people having the ability to have jobs and obtain mortgages, is that going to have a greater impact than on the people that want to sell their home and move on? Again, it's all depends on how fast we come out of this going into the summer months and the fall. But right now, we are seeing certainly a lot of homes come off the market. We're seeing no open houses, and so it's hard to get people in and out of the homes. One of the issues you'll be reading and hearing a lot about is mortgage relief from the major lenders. Please be aware of what they call forbearance forgiveness or forbearance. Please call your lender before you take any action. It doesn't mean they're going to forgive your payments. They may delay your payments, but just understand what that entails, 30, 60, 90 days, and what is going to be the after effect if you seek mortgage forbearance. Interest rates are definitely low. You may want to look at, if you do qualify, the jumbo market has tightened up substantially. But if you do qualify for Fannie or Freddie mortgages, VA, FHA, interest rates are low. You may want to look at the idea of converting what is a 30-year fixed into a 15-year fixed if your goal is to try to pay off that mortgage as soon as possible. Essential services. What Patty and I do as real estate agents, we help people buy and sell homes. This has become a challenge. Initially, when COVID-19 shelter-in-place restrictions first came out, we were considered non-essential services. Through a lot of lobbying efforts, we are now considered essential services. However, if you are selling your home, you are going to sign an agreement that says you understand the risks of allowing people to come into your home. And buyers must sign a form saying we understand the risk of going into someone's home. So the trend, obviously, is now for virtual tours. So that is going to be something that we are going to explore with you if you're looking to sell your home, is selling your home virtually without having anybody coming into that home to see it. Now, after someone accepts an offer on a home, there's going to have to be visitation and there's going to have to be inspections. So we are going to have to do a lot of cleaning and maintaining of a home to get it to sell and to get it through escrow. So the monthly indicators, as we say, the March 2020 indicators over March 2019, obviously show the trend of a reducing inventory and a harder process of selling a home. The first 2 months of 2020 were very much like, if you were around in those days of 2000, 2005 and 2006, the market was on fire in San Diego County. Very low inventory, overbids on almost every property. Now the market has shifted almost overnight in terms of low inventory, and obviously not a lot of people out there looking because of the loss of jobs, the loss of income. So the future is unknown. If you do have to sell your home, one of the things that we're going to advise is to make sure it's ready to sell. And that what Patty and I can do a consultation with you at no cost to understand getting your home ready to sell in the COVID-19 era. We had some slides on closed sales in March 2020 over March 2019, trend lines here in terms of pricing and historical sales. Really the numbers that are going to be the most telling and are really going to tell you the impact of what has happened will be when the numbers come out in May for the month of April compared to a year ago and compared to the first quarter of this year. Will we come back? It's all going to depend on how fast we can come out of this and how much we can allow people to get in and out of homes. So questions, we really want you to call or email or communicate in any way you wish. Our website is greenwaldgerke.com. There's a lot of great videos on there about aging in place safely and sanely, about moving, about right sizing, about the senior community world that we here in San Diego County. We invite you to comment on those. There's also videos on protecting yourself from scams. You can email us, text us. Please, we are here to help. We're here to provide you information and provide you resources to help you decide what you want to do so that it's your quality of life and you live it as safely and as sanely as we can during this time.
The final recap is to please stay safely in your home. It is your castle. We have spent a lot of time there. You want to be safe. Don't notice things you've never noticed before and try and take care of them on your own. Call for help. Beware of scams. Unfortunately, there are plenty of people taking advantage during this awful time. So you want to be sure that you are not one of the victims. And lastly, take the time to pause and prepare your estate and prepare your life plan so that you can have the best quality of life. With that, we end. If we can be of any assistance in any way, you can call us, you can text us, you can go to our website at greenwaldgerke.com where there are multiple videos that you can view. Know that we have picked up and delivered prescriptions. We have dropped off toilet paper. We are happy to help in any way we can. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.